goddamnfitness.com, your number one for research supplements. Are peptides the future enhancing drug? In the video, we'll talk about the history of peptides, what do peptides do, are peptides legal, the benefits of peptides, lists and types of peptides, the side effects of peptides, are peptides safe to use, and we'll list some frequently asked questions. The history of peptides. In 1959, Robert Bruce Mirfield won a Nobel Prize in chemistry for pioneering a solid phase peptide synthesis. He worked as an assistant in college and discovered peptide growth factors that led to the solid phase peptide synthesis. In the early 60s, Robert wrote a paper for the American Chemistry Journal Society reporting a solid phase peptide synthesis. It's the most cited paper in the journal's history. Then he synthesized in his laboratory multiple peptides listed here. This, as you can imagine, stimulated the progress of biochemistry, pharmacology, and medicine to follow a systematic method for activity related to enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. He even published his own book in 1993 called The Life During the Golden Age of the Peptide Chemistry. He passed away in 2006 at the age of 84. Him and his team achieved making multiple chemicals. He's a real pioneer of human evolution. What do peptides do? Peptides are defined as short-acting amino acids linked by a peptide bond. Peptide bonds are formed by two molecules in short. One amino acid reacts with one amino acid group, creating carboxyl group. To differentiate proteins and peptides is done by size. Amino acids have been added to peptides called residuals. There are many peptides that have been established. Some of them are yet to be discovered, and some have research chemical names that are still reviewed for treatments and effects. Are peptides legal? Generally, peptides are lying in a gray area of the law right now. Most countries do not consider peptides illegal, but they're listed not for human consumption. At least in the UK, US, and Canada, they're gray areas at the moment. Please do your own research by the time you read this article or see this video. Laws can change. The FDA pool is growing with more peptides being approved. AOD 9604 peptide is not approved yet by the FDA. There's lots of peptides in the pipeline, but science is changing so much, it's hard to keep up with the latest trials. DEA, FDA surveillance, we'll see what happens with the future of peptide controls. Time will tell. This unfortunately depends on the initiative that's going to happen with the FDA. In 2 to 5 years, we'll tell what pharmacists are able to provide and be able to prescribe. But we're believers of freedom of choice, of course, with some regulation. Technically, Trump's right to try could find loopholes as people are terminally ill. People will be sent to research chemicals as it's a big risk to doctors. So since there are research chemicals not for human consumption, the risk for doctors and patients can get adverse reactions are known. Research chemicals are not as evidence-based as approved drugs. Quality assurance is important. We don't recommend this, and try it for yourself. If something goes wrong in the brain or liver, the whole industry gets blacklisted with this one drug. So there's no standardization. We don't know what we're playing with since most of these come from China. Most people are guilty of cannabis use or any class A drug. We don't know where that's coming from either. So it's a bit of a controversial issue at the moment. Peptides, the benefits of peptides. Since peptides are naturally occurring in every cell and every living thing, there are lots of potential benefits of peptides. Peptides have proven to benefit to medicine and cosmetic products so far, with helping break down substances in the body. Peptides can help create antibiotics that help regulate hormones and immune systems. Peptides can assist with sleep, energy, mood, and bone density. They can help with aging of the skin to produce collagen. They can help with sun damage, such as melanotan. They can assist with wound healing. They can assist with diabetes, such as insulin. Peptides can assist even with weight loss. So there's plenty of benefits going on right now for peptides. There's other ones that even benefit nootropics, energy enhancers, deep sleep effects, It's all there. The list and types of peptides. So some of them are definitely prohibited by what is, and you said it before you ask. So this list here are some of the most popular research chemicals at the moment. Testomerelin's clinical research is the most impressive according to doctors. Ipamorelin is another popular peptide of research at the moment. Melamatan 1, besides its side effects, can improve cortisol receptors and sleep patterns while it darkens the skin and reduces inflammation. So there's so much going on, guys, and really, like we said in the article, it's really hard to keep up with the latest research because so much is changing. The side effects of peptides. Well, this can really depend on the one you're consuming and the dosages you take. So it can generally increase appetite, higher blood pressure, create nausea, numbness, sometimes water retention, weight gain or fat loss, potentially decrease fertility. Peptides like melamatan can darken freckles and moles. In bad cases, peptide aggregation is essential, where peptide folds into an amino acid. This would become cheap, unregulated providers. So basically, it depends really where you're buying your peptides from. So BPC 157, as eye drops are showing good results with helping people with degeneration of eyesight. Doctors are advising, if you're using melamatan 2, to start off with slower dosages and make your way up slowly to prevent more side effects. There's always a risk to these. You may have an allergic reaction, so it's always better to experiment with smaller dosages. This is all just for educational purposes only, guys. So are peptides safe to use? Well, generally, the worst case scenario is using too much, as they're generally occurring in the body. Right, to summarize, research says that 99% of peptides today come from China. Even if they say that they're from the US, they could have the vials coming from the USA, but the actual chemical coming from China. Sometimes these peptides can come from bad resources, or like spike fake growth hormone for reducing produce purposes. That has similar effects to growth hormone, but it's actually not legitimate growth hormone. So because growth hormone is an expensive supplement, Chinese manufacturers have even found ways around this. So it's pretty crazy what's happening at the moment. I'm not saying that there are bad peptides made in China. It's actually government regulated, but you just never know. You really have to make sure you have a good, reliable resource if you are going to experiment with these. So some frequently asked questions. Are peptides oral or injectable? Do they come in a serum or cream? All of the above. They're available in so many different forms. Really depends on the type of peptide you're going to take. MK677 is available in capsule and injectable formats. You have some skincare products available in cream. Generally, the research chemicals of peptides are in an injectable format. How much do they cost? Well, this really changes drastically. It can go from $20 like melamatan and go all the way up to 5,000 USD for testosterone. So really be aware before really getting too involved with one of these substances that they can be costly depending on what you're doing it for. Can females use peptides? Yes, females can use peptides just like males, probably dosage dependent. So please do your research and contact your doctor before you start to experiment. Muscle growth with peptides, yes, it's possible. There's multiple peptides available for muscle growth listed here below. Cutting with peptides, testosterone is a really famous, popular one right now amongst doctors for losing fat with, but it's still a research chemical. Where can you buy peptides? Well, I would advise looking at credible forums online. It's country dependent. Please do your own research. To summarize, guys, supplements and research chemicals do come with their side effects. Some of them are less side effects than others. Please do your own research. Some of these chemicals are not approved by the FDA, not fit for human consumption. Please check your local laws by the time you view this video. I hope you like this video. Please check out the article. We have so much more information in our article linked below. If you like the video, give us a pound below, share and subscribe to find the most cutting edge information available. And thank you for listening.